Those women were wearing lime green shirts in solidarity. In case these were the lime green shirts, they say old ladies against tasing. Also,
we've all seen airport meltdowns, but this one takes the cake. When a flight gets delayed, one passenger decides it's the perfect time to unleash chaos on the staff and fellow travelers. The irony? While she's too busy yelling, the flight quietly boards without her. What started as a routine traffic stop for a broken taillight quickly spiraled out of control in Cashin, Oklahoma. Officer Charles Massini expected to issue a simple ticket in 2019, but Deborah Hamill had other plans. When asked to sign the $80 citation, she flat out refused.
No, because I don't think I deserve to pay $80 for something that is fixable and I can fix it. Right. That's all you want. Go ahead, step out of the car.
Massini warned her of an arrest, yet Hamill doubled down. Then she hit the gas. The brief chase ended with the officer dragging her from the car, but instead of surrendering, Hamill made things worse, kicking Massini in the groin in a desperate struggle. That's when he pulled his taser, bringing the situation to a shocking end. In 2020, Hamill pleaded guilty to 4 misdemeanors, earning a $50 fine for each and a 4-year deferred sentence. As the officer put it, "You wouldn't comply, you wouldn't get out, and then you kicked me. So yes, I did." On June 26, 2022, officers responded to reports of a woman causing a disturbance inside an airport. However, when they approached her, she immediately tried to play every victim card imaginable. As officers attempted to escort her out, she grew increasingly defiant, repeatedly insisting she wasn't causing a disruption. Witnesses reported that she loudly declared, "I'm white. I'm a white person," as she walked through the terminal, drawing attention from everyone around her. It quickly became clear that the woman was heavily intoxicated. When officers questioned how much she had been drinking, she continued to repeat, "I'm white," instead of answering.
"I'm white!"
Okay, but you don't have a right to be...
As tensions escalated, she refused to provide her ID, insisting she wasn't obligated to do so. But the officers weren't playing along with her games. When she refused to comply, the situation spiraled into chaos. As officers attempted to detain her, she resisted, forcing them to place her in handcuffs. Even as she was being escorted out of the airport, she continued to yell at everyone she passed, repeatedly asking, "Are you white?" Once outside, her behavior took an even more aggressive turn. She attempted to kick one of the officers, a decision that would prove to be a major mistake. The officers quickly restrained her on the ground as she continued her bizarre, racially charged outbursts. Eventually, EMS arrived to assess her condition. Instead of calming down, she made a series of strange statements, including claiming that her grandfather was black.
Okay, what day of the week it is?
What?
What day of the week is it?
It is Saturday. I'm not going to kick you.
You better not.
I'm not, because you can hit me like my husband is.
No, we don't do that.
Yeah.
As she was placed on a stretcher and prepared for transport to a hospital, she hurled insults at both the officers and medical staff. "I'm a Republican, everybody. They're black. Hey, I'm white. Excuse me, I'm white," she shouted. In the end, the intoxicated woman faced multiple charges, including public intoxication, battery on a police officer, and resisting arrest. But she wasn't the only one making a scene at the airport that day. In another shocking incident, JetBlue employees alerted officers to an abandoned suitcase in the terminal. As they investigated, a supervisor approached, identifying the owner as a woman who was reportedly intoxicated. When officers attempted to locate her, she suddenly appeared out of nowhere, immediately launching into a racist tirade. "You don't speak that here?" she yelled before hurling a racial slur in the middle of the airport. As the confrontation escalated, she aggressively confronted both the officer and the airline staff, cursing at them before bizarrely assuming a boxing stance, ready to fight. But this was a battle she was never going to win. The officer swiftly took her down, placing her under arrest as she continued screaming in defiance. As they escorted her to the patrol car, she dramatically played the victim, claiming, "They're manhandling me," and insisting her husband was a medical attorney who wouldn't allow them to arrest her. Despite her protests, she was formally charged with assault on a police officer and public intoxication. On top of that, she received a lifetime ban from JetBlue Airlines. But Sherry cuts him off. "Your apologies aren't making me any happier. You're not making me any safer. And you're not addressing the inconsistencies." Tensions rise as Nicholas insists the bag won't fit in the sizing box. Travelers, in a class action lawsuit, claims there's solid evidence that Frontier is manipulating the sizers at the gate.
That's why she and around 100 others are suing Frontier Airlines in this class action lawsuit.
Even more shocking, he alleges that gate attendants receive a $10 commission every time they charge a traveler for an oversized bag. "It's pay the $100 fee, or you're not getting on the flight," Amira explained. Frontier Airlines declined to comment on the pending lawsuit, but outraged passengers are demanding refunds and accountability. Marketing expert Tom Jelinek warns that while budget airline deals may seem appealing, surprise fees can add up, and travelers have the right to fair treatment. "This should be a wake-up call for all airlines," Amira said. "We're fighting back." Attorney Mann promises to reveal more details on the case in the coming days. Stay tuned. A shocking mid-air incident has led to a lifetime ban for an unruly passenger who punched a flight attendant in the head. Witnesses gasped in horror as the man suddenly ran up behind the crew member and struck him mid-flight. Chaos erupted as passengers jumped in to restrain him until the plane landed in Los Angeles, where police took him into custody. The airline wasted no time in delivering swift justice. This man will never set foot on an American flight again. Efficiency. Airlines are under pressure to speed up boarding times, as even a few minutes of delay can ripple across flight schedules. In some cases, this has led to tense exchanges at the gate, reminiscent of that classic Meet the Parents scene. "I'm sorry, sir, you have to check that. That bag won't fit." Some budget airlines, like Spirit and Frontier, already charge for carry-ons, while basic economy tickets often allow only a personal item at an extra fee. Want to avoid a last-minute carry-on clash? Check airline policies in advance to know exactly what's allowed. If you're flying a low-cost carrier, paying for your carry-on up front can save stress and money. And if you're unsure whether your bag will cut, volunteering to gate check it early can prevent an awkward showdown at boarding. And the blanket rule? For some travelers, that might just be a bridge too far. Sometimes, losing your cool only makes things worse. Just ask Karen, who missed her flight after all that fuss. Next time, staying calm might just save you from missing the big moment. Have you ever had a travel meltdown? Share your story below.
The reports of an intoxicated woman causing a disturbance. As passengers looked on, the visibly agitated woman repeatedly insisted she needed to get home to her grandmother.
My grandma!
What is it about?
I need to go home to my grandma!
All while cursing and refusing to comply with security instructions. Hey, we got a possible under the influence situation with the green shirt over there. She's acting up, cursing, and causing a scene.
Hey, you got a possible under the influence or something. Green shirt over there. She's acting up since outside, cursing and banging stuff.
Despite multiple warnings, the woman's erratic behavior escalated. She accused security of delaying her flight, shouted profanities, and refused to cooperate with officers trying to de-escalate the situation. "I just need to get home to my grandma. You're delaying my flight, not me."
I need to go home to my grandma. Don't you delay my flight. No, you delay it.
Attempts to calm her down failed as she continued shouting about her grandmother's health, her urgency to leave, and her frustration with TSA. Officers tried to verify her flight details, asking for her boarding pass, but she became increasingly uncooperative, demanding to be let through without proper documentation. "Where's your flight information? I had it right here. Y'all are playing with me."
Yes. Take my ID. Like I have not done shit to the mother Americans. Please just
Watch your
let me-
mouth.
My ID is in his hand. As officers attempted to escort her from the area, the situation spiraled further. She lashed out verbally and physically, hurling expletives at law enforcement. After refusing multiple commands, she was taken to the ground and placed under arrest for disorderly conduct and resisting security protocols. What started as a desperate plea to see a loved one ended in an arrest.
Please just help me. It hurts. No. It hurts. It hurts. Please help me. No, just stop.
Miss Chapman.
Stop.
Take
I
a
haven't
breath.
done anything to you.
Serving as a stark reminder that airline security takes disorderly behavior, especially under the influence, very seriously. Imagine this. You're on a packed flight, ready for takeoff, when suddenly the flight is delayed because of one difficult passenger. That's exactly what happened when a woman, now being labeled as a Karen, decided she wasn't going to follow the airline's mask policy. At the time, airlines had strict rules requiring all passengers, including children, to wear masks.
You talk to anybody out on the street, hey, it's a federal crime if you don't. That gets the attention more than it's our company policy.
Seems simple enough, right? Well, not for this woman. When the flight crew provided her with a mask for her young child, she flat out refused, insisting the child was too young to wear one. The crew patiently explained the policy and warned her that if she didn't comply, she would have to leave the plane, but instead of just putting the mask on her child and moving on, she dug in her heels and started arguing.
Sorry, they asked us to put a face mask on our 4-year-old. So we did. We put a face mask on our 4-year-old, and they're still kicking us off the plane.
Back and forth, she debated with the crew, causing a scene and delaying the flight for everyone on board. Despite multiple chances to follow the rules, she refused, leaving the airline with no choice but to remove her and her entire family from the flight. And it didn't stop there. Because of her actions, they were placed on a no-fly list, meaning they wouldn't be able to book flights with that airline in the future. But here's the kicker. When she was finally being escorted off, she turned to the passengers and dramatically apologized, claiming she never wanted to delay their flight.
I apologize to everyone on this plane for delaying you. I would never, ever, ever want to do that to you. And I am sincerely apologetic to that.
What do you think? Was the airline being too strict, or did she bring this on herself? Watch the clip and decide for yourself. Taste. What started as a routine traffic stop for a broken taillight quickly spiraled out of control in Cashion, Oklahoma. Officer Charles Messini expected to issue a simple ticket in 2019, but Deborah Hamill had other plans.
I want to sign it.
No, because I don't think that I deserve to pay $80 for something that is fixable and I can fix it.
All right.
That's all you
Go
want
ahead,
to do.
step out of the car.
When asked to sign the $80 citation, she flat out refused. "I don't think I deserve to pay for something I can fix," she argued, but defiance came at a cost. Messini warned her of an arrest, yet Hamill doubled down. Then she hit the gas. The brief chase ended with the officer dragging her from the car, but instead of surrendering, Hamill made things worse, kicking Messini in the groin in a desperate struggle. That's when he pulled his taser, bringing the situation to a shocking end. In 2020, Hamill pleaded guilty to 4 misdemeanors, earning a $50 fine for each and a 4-year deferred sentence. As the officer put it, "You wouldn't comply, you wouldn't get out, and then you kicked me." So yes, I did. On June 26, 2022, officers responded to reports of a woman causing a disturbance inside an airport. However, when they approached her, she immediately tried to play every victim card imaginable. As officers attempted to escort her out, she grew increasingly increasingly defiant, repeatedly insisting she wasn't causing a disruption. "No, I'm not, she protested while refusing to comply. Witnesses reported that she loudly declared, "I'm white. I'm a white person."
Are you white? Are you white? Are you white? Are you white? This is what happens if you ask someone if you're white!
As she walked through the terminal, drawing attention from everyone around her, it quickly became clear that the woman was heavily intoxicated. When officers questioned how much she had been drinking, she continued to repeat, "I'm white," instead of answering. As tensions escalated, she refused to provide her ID, insisting she wasn't obligated to do so. But the officers weren't playing along with her games. When she refused to comply, the situation spiraled into chaos. As officers attempted to detain her, she resisted, forcing them to place her in handcuffs. Even as she was being escorted out of the airport, she continued to yell at everyone she passed, repeatedly asking, "Are you white?" Once outside, her behavior took an even more aggressive turn. She attempted to kick one of the officers, a decision that would prove to be a major mistake. The officers quickly restrained her on the ground as she continued her bizarre, racially charged outbursts. Eventually, EMS arrived to assess her condition. Instead of calming down, she made a series of strange statements, including claiming that her grandfather was black.
My grandfather is black!
When asked if she knew where she was, she correctly identified the Dallas-Fort Worth airport but continued making erratic comments. As she was placed on a stretcher and prepared for transport to a hospital, she hurled insults at both the officers and medical staff. "I'm a Republican, everybody. They're black. Hey, I'm white. Excuse me, I'm white," she shouted. In the end, the intoxicated woman faced multiple charges, including public intoxication, battery on a police officer, and resisting arrest. But she wasn't the only one making a scene at the airport that day. In another shocking incident, JetBlue employees alerted officers to an abandoned suitcase in the terminal. As they investigated, a supervisor approached, identifying the owner as a woman who was reportedly intoxicated. When officers attempted to locate her, she suddenly appeared out of nowhere, immediately launching into a racist tirade. "You don't speak that here," she yelled, before hurling a racial slur in the middle of the airport. As the confrontation escalated, she aggressively confronted both the officer and the airline staff, cursing at them before bizarrely assuming a boxing stance, ready to fight. But this was a battle she was never going to win. The officers swiftly took her down, placing her under arrest as she continued screaming in defiance. As they escorted her to the patrol car, she dramatically played the victim, claiming, "They're manhandling me," and insisting her husband was a medical attorney who wouldn't allow them to arrest her. Despite her protests, she was formally charged with assault on a police officer and public intoxication. On top of that, she received a lifetime ban from JetBlue Airlines. Another Karen moment unfolds at LAX.
No, entitlement is what you're thinking that I'm on high heels.
And this one is happening fast. No entitlement? Well, that's exactly what she's claiming. But her actions might tell a different story. From how she's reacting, you'd think she was the victim of a serious injustice. But is she? Let us know in the comments if you think she's overreacting. Because one thing's for sure, she certainly doesn't think so. And believe me when I say, compared to some of the wildest airport meltdowns we've seen, she's holding back, at least a little. It's February 2022 at Orlando International Airport, and tensions are already high. Police are called in after reports surface of a disruptive passenger aboard a Southwest flight just moments before takeoff. The crew wants him off the plane, but he's not going quietly. Let's check it out. As officers work to gather more details, word comes in that the man still on board may have started a fight. Without wasting a second, they storm the plane and drag Chad Bro off the aircraft. And let's just say, Chad has plenty to say for himself. Officers finally got Chad to the top of the stairs leading down to the tarmac where their cruisers were waiting. But just when it seemed like things were under control, everything came to a grinding halt once again. An officer remained on the scene to gather more details directly from the Southwest flight attendant who had the unsettling encounter with Chad. Meanwhile, another officer escorts Chad to the airport's police office, clearly struggling to keep a straight face. It's hard to take a guy like Chad seriously. Unfortunately, Chad Chad just can't resist striking up conversations with random strangers at the airport, and before he knows it, he's being escorted back outside to a waiting police cruiser. Chad, flustered, misidentifies the officer escorting him to the precinct, confidently insisting his last name is Beaver, and just when you think he's done, Chad's got even more to say. Chad found himself in hot water after being charged with disorderly conduct at a public venue, along with assault and battery on a law enforcement officer. In the end, he pleaded no contest to the disorderly conduct charge, while the more serious accusations were dropped. The court sentenced him to a single day in jail, but since he'd already spent time behind bars, that box was already checked. A shocking mid-air incident has led to a lifetime ban for an unruly passenger.
An unruly passenger has been banned for life after punching a flight attendant in mid-air.
Who punched a flight attendant in the head. Witnesses gasped in horror as the man suddenly ran up behind the crew member and struck him mid-flight. Chaos erupted as passengers jumped in to restrain him until the plane landed in Los Angeles, where police took him into custody. The airline wasted no time in delivering swift justice. This man will never set foot on an American flight again. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse for her, karma delivered the final blow. The entire airport watched in disbelief as security handled the situation like pros. One thing's for sure, next time she might think twice before causing a scene at the airport.
The entitled customer who throws a tantrum over the smallest inconvenience, demanding to speak to the manager like it's their superpower. But what happens when karma or a clever bystander turns the tables on them? Get ready for some of the funniest, most satisfying Karen revenge stories that prove sometimes justice comes with a side of laughter. The Bristol bus boycott. As we say, if you want to change something, you have to be in it. And that's exactly what happened in Bristol. After World War II, thousands of Caribbean immigrants, many of whom had served in the British military, moved to the UK, hoping for a better life. By the 1960s, around 3,000 had settled in Bristol. But instead of receiving the respect they deserved, they faced blatant discrimination. The Bristol Omnibus Company enforced a color bar, refusing to hire black or Asian workers. Their stance? As long as we can find white workers, we'll keep hiring white workers.
Whilst we can obtain white labor in this city, we intend to go on engaging white labor rather than colored labor.
But the community wasn't going to stand for it. In 1963, Roy Hackett, Owen Henry, Audley Evans, and Prince Brown formed the West Indian Development Council, alongside spokesperson Paul Stevenson. Together, they organized a mass boycott of Bristol's buses. For 4 months, people across the city refused to ride. The pressure mounted, and in the end, the Bristol Omnibus Company had no choice but to reverse its racist policy. Just 2 years later, in 1965, Harold Wilson's government passed the first-ever Race Relations Act, making racial discrimination illegal in public places. This wasn't just about buses, it was about justice, equality, and standing up for what's right. The Bristol bus boycott proved that when people unite against injustice, real change happens. Ignoring a Karen is the ultimate power move. Some Karens thrive on the attention their outrageous behavior brings, almost like it's a twisted badge of honor to get the biggest reaction from decent people. But in September 2022, one subway worker flipped the script on a particularly rude woman in the most satisfying way. Captured in a video shared by Charlie Kincaid, the scene unfolds as an entitled customer loudly demands her sandwich be made exactly to her liking. But instead of entertaining the tantrum, the employee simply refuses, standing firm against the woman's disrespect. "People respect me, and you need to respect your customers." The woman snaps, expecting compliance. Instead, the worker hits her with the ultimate silent treatment, completely ignoring her and moving on to the next customer. The look of pure confusion on the woman's face, as if she had suddenly become invisible, was nothing short of priceless. Left with no choice but to admit defeat, she storms out, but not before delivering the classic Karen battle cry, "I want to speak to your supervisor."
Finish my sandwich! All right, you're going to be reported, that's for sure. Call your supervisor right now. Please call her right now. You wanted to call her a while ago, call her now. I'd like to talk to her.
Toasted.
Toasted, no cheese. Toasted.
I'm sorry, what?
Freebies. Most people love a good freebie unless, apparently, that freebie supports the LGBTQ+ community. In 2020, Dan Floyd set up shop at the Livermore Farmers Market in California, handing out pride flags at his Dan Good Cookies booth in celebration of Pride Month. Enter Gail Hayden, the head of the California Farmers Market Association, who wasn't having it. She confronted Floyd, accusing him of pushing a political point of view, even though no one else had flags, which should have been a clue that this was about more than just market rules. Hayden later tried to walk back her words, but the damage was done. The backlash was so strong that the CFMA stepped down from managing the Livermore Farmers Market altogether. Now, Livermore Downtown is searching for a new organization, one that actually believes in openness and inclusivity. And honestly, that's a win.
We are actually very happy to hear that Livermore Downtown will be searching for a new organization and making it clear that we want them to stand for openness and inclusiveness.
Darian Tolles. In 2018, Darian Tolles was simply trying to enter his apartment building in St. Louis, Missouri, but Hillary Brooke Mueller had other plans. Standing firmly in his way, she blocked his path as if she owned the place. Spoiler alert, she didn't. Mueller repeatedly demanded to know which unit Tolles lived in and insisted he prove it by showing his key fob. Tolles, understandably frustrated, pushed past her to get inside. But Mueller wasn't done. She continued to harass him in the building. Excuse me. Excuse me. Are you kidding me? Where are you going? She demanded as if she had any authority over him. When footage of the incident surfaced, the internet quickly called out Mueller's actions as racist. She denied it, claiming she simply didn't recognize Tolles. Regardless, her employer, Tribeca STL, wasn't buying it. They fired her and released a statement explicitly condemning racism and racial profiling.
Asking is what unit?
But you're not, I don't need to tell you that information, ma'am.
If you want to come into my building.
It's not your building, you're not the owner.
No.
Excuse me.
No.
Excuse me.
Are you kidding me? Where are you going?
Satanic dressing. A woman walked into a burger shop, expecting a simple meal, but instead, she was immediately denied service. The reason? The store owner disapproved of her appearance, claiming she looked satanic. What happened next was even more shocking. He erupted in a rage, hurling accusations and verbally attacking her, all because of the way she was dressed. Let's take a closer look.
Tape all you want. God bless you, you moron. Yeah, there's your tape away, girl. Tape away. Yeah. God bless you and Satan, lady. Yeah. God bless Jesus Christ. You want to get out of my building. Yeah. Darren told me who you really were.
And I talked to Darren.
Oh, yeah. And so did I.
Tom?
So did I.
Tom?
Get the out of my building. Call the cops. Don't get out of here. Get the out of here. And don't you step foot around my business in the name of Jesus Christ, you demonic. In the name of Jesus Christ, you demonic.
Am I demonic?
Get the of my life.
Mr. Karen. A man, let's call him Mr. Karen, went ballistic when he spotted a restaurant worker smoking right under a no-smoking sign. Keep smoking, I'm not going anywhere, he ranted. I came here for food, not a lungful of tobacco. As the worker ignored him and started walking away, Mr. Karen doubled down. Where do you think you're going? That's not fair. I'm calling the cops on you. Go ahead, the worker shot back. But that wasn't enough for Mr. Karen. He whipped out his phone and kept following. I'm watching you. You better get me off your recording. Now, watch what I'm about to do next. And just like that, another public meltdown was born because if everyone breaks a rule, it still doesn't make it okay. At least not in Mr. Karen's world.
Right. Where are you gonna go? Get me off your freaking recording now! Get me off!
I'm watching. That's all right. That's fine.
You know what? I'm gonna go right now.
That's fine. You're smoking on the right beside the no smoking sign. Just because everyone does it, does that make it okay? No, it doesn't.
Haircut. A woman on an airplane let her long hair drape over the back of her seat, brushing against the man sitting behind her. As the flight went on, the constant tickling became more and more frustrating for him. Despite what he believed were multiple attempts to get her to move it, possibly by politely asking, she didn't budge. Finally, fed up and out of patience, he snapped and took matters into his own hands by cutting off a piece of her hair. Airport Karen. A woman at the airport refused to move, blocking the line and causing frustration among other passengers. Despite their attempts to reason with her, she stood her ground. But then, airport authorities stepped in, making it clear that her sense of entitlement didn't give her the right to inconvenience others. Her response? A heated rant, insisting they were the entitled ones. "You don't follow me, baby. You got the wrong one," she snapped, laughing defiantly. But in the end, her attitude didn't protect her from reality.
Ma'am, can you move up, please? Oh, see? No! I get the chance to do it when I want to do it.
Don't fall up your fist at me, baby. You got the wrong one. You really got the wrong one. This is what you call a lie.
No, you are entitled. You are the ones who are entitled. Not feeling protected. I am sick of it. Yes, I am. Every time I ask for something, I get totally yelled at or given attitude. I have been attacked, physically assaulted, and I'm trying to protect myself. And all these people do is turn around and set up like I'm the one who's being overreacting, and I'm not.
Flight. A dramatic scene unfolded mid-flight when a woman in business class decided she wasn't happy with her seating arrangement, at the expense of another passenger. She had been enjoying her solitude when a man approached, claiming the seat beside her. Instantly, she was skeptical. "I think you're in the wrong spot. There's no way this is your seat," she insisted. The man tried to defuse the situation, but she wasn't backing down. "Let me see your ticket." Other passengers took notice, with one stepping in to support the man. "Just let him sit," they urged. But instead of calming down, the woman grew even more agitated. As tensions rose, a flight attendant arrived to settle the dispute. After checking the tickets, it was clear the man was exactly where he was supposed to be. The steward offered the woman an alternative. "We do have one seat available in the back, ma'am." Her response? Pure outrage. "What? I'm not moving," she snapped. Realizing she wasn't just unhappy, she was downright refusing to cooperate. The flight attendant made the call. "You're going to have to leave now." Her final stand? A defiant, "No, I'm not." But as with all in-flight drama, the cabin crew always has the last word. Pickup fail. Picking up kids from school is a daily battle. Cars jam the streets. Parents impatiently inch forward, and everyone just wants to get home. It's frustrating, sure, but there's no choice but to wait your turn. Unless you think you're above the rules. One driver in Austin, Texas, clearly believed they were too important to sit in line like everyone else. Instead of waiting, they swerved onto the wrong side of the road, hoping to cut in ahead. Big mistake. They were immediately met with oncoming traffic, forcing them into the ultimate walk, or rather drive of shame, reversing all the way back as dozens of smug, rule-following parents watched in silent satisfaction. Conclusion. And that's why you should never underestimate the power of petty revenge. Whether it's a clever loophole or just good old-fashioned karma, these Karens definitely got what was coming to them. If you enjoyed this dose of justice, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments which story was your favorite.
It was supposed to be a normal school morning, kids filing across the crosswalk, parents waiting their turn, and a crossing guard doing their job. But things took a wild turn when she showed up. You know the type? Designer sunglasses, venti coffee in hand, and a sense of entitlement that could stop traffic faster than any stop sign. Without warning, Karen decided rules didn't apply to her. She slammed her car door, stormed up to the crossing guard, and demanded to be let through, past the line of patiently waiting parents. When the guard calmly refused, reminding her it was for the kids' safety, she exploded. What followed was a tirade so outrageous, even the kindergartners were staring.
Kids, calm down. I can't be fucking touched.
I didn't touch you,
I
man.
was raped not that long ago, and I can't stand another man touching me.
An intense and confusing encounter unfolds in what appears to be a public place, possibly a store or a queue. One person accuses another of touching them, but the accused denies it, suspecting it might be some kind of prank. The situation escalates as one individual complains that the other won't leave them alone, while background music plays, adding to the chaotic atmosphere. Amid the tension, someone insists they must leave and mentions they still have responsibilities. Emotions heighten when it's revealed that one person threw the other's belongings, leaving everyone bewildered. A half-hearted apology is offered, but it's met with skepticism, especially since the apologizing individual allegedly cut in line earlier. The confrontation ends with a bit of sarcasm and frustration, as someone points out they were just trying to clarify who was in line, expecting basic adult behavior.
To jail. You don't get to resist.
The interaction captures a blend of confusion, irritation, and social tension, a small but relatable snapshot of how quickly misunderstandings can spiral in public spaces. Get it on video, Trinity. That's the cry heard in a chaotic scene near Humboldt State University in Northern California, where a young woman named Samantha Alonzo Luna found herself at the center of a dramatic police encounter, and she wasn't going down quietly. It all started when Luna and her friends were pulled over by police. The reason? One of her friends was reportedly sticking her head out of the sunroof, a clear safety violation. When officers attempted to arrest the individual, things quickly took a turn for the worse. Luna, 20 years old and not pleased with the situation, began to vocally challenge the officer's actions. An officer warned her, saying, "You're about 2 seconds from going to jail for public intoxication. I would stop talking if I were you," but Luna wasn't backing down. As the tension escalated, Luna continued to argue, pushing the officer's patience past the limit. That's when the situation exploded. She allegedly grabbed the officer by the hair during the confrontation. The officer, clearly caught off guard, called out to fellow officers, demanding they get scissors to cut Luna's hair to free themselves from her grip. The shocking moment was caught on camera and quickly went viral. Security expert Steve Cardian later analyzed the footage, emphasizing that regardless of whether the arrest was justified, resisting arrest is illegal in California. Even if the police were wrong in arresting her, she has no right to resist. That, in itself, is a crime, he said. Luna was eventually taken into custody and charged with suspicion of public intoxication and battery on a police officer. But she didn't appear too troubled by the ordeal. Her mugshot shows her smiling, unfazed. Following her release, she took to Facebook to share her side of the story, posting the videos and accusing the officer of provoking her. "She did not need to act so unprofessional," Luna wrote. "She was seeking a reaction out of me when she should have been de-escalating the situation." Though Luna is not a student at Humboldt State University, the school issued a statement confirming that they are aware of the incident and are conducting an internal review. Luna also claims she plans to file a lawsuit over the incident. What began as a routine traffic stop turned into a viral controversy that raises tough questions about policing, public behavior, and what happens when emotions boil over on both sides of the badge.
Here comes Karen.
Stop arguing with me and please just take me to
She just called us all retards. We're all in
I don't
line.
need an explanation. Like, the whole situation is done.
In this chaotic and frustrating scene, tensions boil over between a group of waiting customers and a woman perceived as cutting the line or receiving unfair priority. One particularly vocal person steps up to challenge the situation, demanding transparency and fairness. They highlight the absurdity of the moment. Everyone was supposedly called up at once. Yet confusion and miscommunication have left people feeling ignored and disrespected. Frustration is aimed not only at the entitled behavior of one woman, but also at the lack of accountability from whoever was managing the queue. The speaker, though upset, keeps their composure just enough to deliver a biting sign-off. "Have a great day, ma'am." It's the kind of passive-aggressive goodbye that perfectly captures the energy of someone fed up but still trying to keep it together in public. This exchange is a snapshot of everyday frustration, where politeness, entitlement, and miscommunication all collide, leading to a moment that feels both all too familiar and undeniably entertaining. A tense parking lot confrontation unfolds between two individuals when one accuses the other of parking too closely.
I'm putting you under citizen's arrest. For what? Because look how close you parked to me. I'm gonna move the car.
Yeah, move the car.
No, you're not moving the car till the cops come.
No, we're gonna move the car.
No, you
The situation escalates quickly as the frustrated driver insists on calling the police, claiming the closed parking job is a form of harassment. The accused tries to de-escalate by moving their car, but the other person refuses to let them leave, insisting they stay put until law enforcement arrives. Amid the standoff, the angry party begins filming the incident, only to demand the other person's phone in return. As voices rise, it's clear this isn't just about a parking space. It's about control, frustration, and a total breakdown in communication. The argument captures how minor inconveniences can spiral into full-blown conflicts when emotions override reason.
What do you think you're doing?
Hey, that's my little sister yelling at.
Well, your punk sister's on my property.
Okay, she won't do it again.
A heated confrontation breaks out when a concerned brother rushes to defend his little sister, who's just been scolded for stepping onto someone else's property. The homeowner, clearly not one to tolerate what he sees as disrespect, fires back with authority, claiming the girl was trespassing. The brother tries to de-escalate the situation, assuring that it won't happen again. But the homeowner, smug and self-assured, isn't about to let it slide. He declares himself a proud member of the neighborhood watch and threatens to issue a citation on the spot. The brother scoffs at the idea, calling it fake, but the homeowner warns him he's about to learn just how real things can get when rules are broken on his turf. It all started with a seemingly harmless disagreement, but things quickly spiraled out of control. A homeowner found himself in a heated standoff with his neighbors after they walked through his yard, which he had recently converted into a peaceful office garden space. What should have been a civil discussion turned into a war of words. The neighbor, clearly agitated, questioned the homeowner about the purpose of the setup and even involved his wife in the conversation. "What about your wife? What about it?" the neighbor snapped, clearly looking for an argument. The homeowner, trying to remain calm, responded with disbelief. "That's not a stupid question, I'm just asking." But the tension only escalated. The neighbor, now openly hostile, hurled insults and threats. "I promise you," he sneered, "every day I come out here from now on, I'm gonna make fun of you. Every single time I walk out the door." The homeowner had had enough. With a garden hose in hand, he stood his ground and demanded they leave his property. "Get the hell out of my yard. Get out. I'm telling you, get out of the yard, now." The confrontation reached its boiling point when one of the neighbors threatened physical violence. "Put your hands on me, come on." The homeowner's partner stepped in, urging everyone to stop. "Babe, stop," she said, clearly distressed. Eventually, the scene ended with tempers still high, but physical conflict avoided thanks mostly to the homeowner's restraint and a well-timed blast from the garden hose.
I love you. Have a good day. Please don't yell at my kids today.
I don't yell at your kids.
Yeah, you do.
I'm not too long.
Every morning, a concerned parent watches their children board the school bus with heavy hearts, dreading what should be a simple ride to class. The reason? The bus driver, whose behavior has become so harsh that the kids return home crying almost daily. Tired, frustrated, but still trying to hold on to kindness, the parent sends the children off with love and a polite, heartfelt plea. "Please, don't yell at my kids today." The response? A dismissive, "I can't hear you," followed by what appears to be an obscene gesture. What began as a quiet concern has grown into a daily heartbreak. The parent is left feeling helpless and unheard, while the children face anxiety before every school day even starts. This moment, caught in real time, isn't just about a bus ride. It's about the emotional toll on young kids, the desperation of a parent trying to protect them, and the failure of someone in a position of responsibility to show basic compassion. As tensions flared on a quiet suburban street, a frustrated driver confronted another motorist for being on the wrong side of the road. The situation escalated quickly. "You're on the wrong side," the man insisted repeatedly, his tone growing more intense with each statement. "This isn't Europe, you're supposed to drive on the right side of the road." Despite being told she was being filmed and that the cops were on the way, the woman remained calm. She tried to explain saying she had just been backing out of a parking space and wasn't driving on the wrong side intentionally. But her explanations only seemed to fuel the man's outrage. "Back away from my car," she pleaded, her voice steadier than expected. "Why are you on this side of the road anyway?" The man continued to argue, ignoring her request to step back and stop invading her personal space. He warned that she'd be getting a ticket and insisted she didn't understand the basic rules of the road. Things took a strange turn when she started to laugh. Not out of disrespect, but perhaps from the sheer absurdity of the situation. Her laughter only seemed to irritate him more. "Why are you laughing?" he barked as he loomed over her window. "Don't touch my car." Despite the heated back and forth, the real issue appeared to be a simple misunderstanding. She had momentarily pulled into the opposite lane while backing out, and he had interpreted it as reckless driving. And there you have it. Another day, another Karen causing chaos where there really shouldn't be any. All the crossing guard was doing was their job, keeping people safe and maintaining order. But apparently, that was just too much for Karen's patience. Her meltdown didn't just cause a scene, it showed everyone around how not to behave in public. It's moments like these that make you appreciate the everyday heroes, like crossing guards, who deal with more than they probably signed up for. If you've ever witnessed a situation like this, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your wildest Karen stories, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the drama.
She came in for a discount but left with a viral meltdown. What started as a simple coupon disagreement quickly escalated into a full-blown confrontation, all caught on camera. In this breakdown, we'll walk you through the shocking moment. A teen worker stood their ground while a furious Karen completely lost hers. Heated confrontation over photos at a store. A tense and awkward dispute unfolded in a store when a woman became visibly upset over a misunderstanding involving photographs and a camera. It began with her being told she couldn't use the photo machine, which appeared to be working and displaying the time. Frustrated, she questioned why she was being recorded and whether the pictures were worth the confrontation. Trying to de-escalate the situation, she offered a solution: she'd simply buy the pictures herself. "Sell me the pictures," she said, suggesting this could end the whole ordeal. But things didn't go her way, and she began to feel increasingly embarrassed by how she was being treated, even asking for her camera back.
This is just embarrassing. I've never seen
it. It's embarrassing that you have to, and I want my camera back.
Okay.
As the argument escalated, she warned that the police might have to be called, but she was fine with that. She was willing to wait and explain her side to law enforcement. Then, she made a sharp comment about how the place had gone downhill ever since a certain employee had left. The situation took a turn when she insisted her camera had been taken. Store staff denied having it, but moments later it turned out the camera was still sitting by the photo machine, just as she had claimed. "Oh, look who's wrong," she snapped, clearly feeling vindicated. A confrontation followed with another employee who claimed they were protecting a fellow worker. The woman, however, didn't back down. She argued that she was only trying to purchase her pictures when the employee denied her the transaction and even accused her of throwing things. Eventually, as tensions hit their peak, the woman stood her ground, calmly stating she'd speak to the police. The employees repeatedly told her to leave, saying bye multiple times in an attempt to get her out of the store. She responded in kind but remained firm. Racist outburst. It all started as a casual trip to the mall, nothing out of the ordinary. The group came in with light-hearted intentions, joking about grabbing a free penny, just enjoying themselves in the moment. Laughter filled the air, music played in the background, and the mood was carefree. But things quickly took a turn.
Look at
Get away from me!
Oh, y'all better get this lady!
Get away from me!
You got
Get
look at this! Security!
Get the fuck out! Get
Security! Look at this!
See, did you see it? Stop threatening me!
See, and she's saying I'm threatening her. I'm not saying nothing to her. I gotta stop coming here. I thought this was the safe mall.
The coupon meltdown. A shocking scene unfolds. It all started over a coupon. Yes, a coupon that had expired. But when the store employees calmly refused to accept it, what followed was anything but calm. The customer, who many are now labeling a classic Karen, exploded into a full-blown meltdown. It resembled something straight out of a pre-fight weigh-in, like Floyd Mayweather squaring up with an opponent, complete with the intensity, shouting, and the need for people to step in and hold her back. The whole scene could have passed for a pay-per-view moment if it weren't so disturbing.
She just said no. Punch me in my face. You're this bitch. Just jump under the counter. Leave, bitch. Leave. Leave. My job. You see my camera?
What makes this even more jarring is the setting. This wasn't a life or death situation. It wasn't a scramble for necessities like food or water. It was overclothes, clothes that she wanted a discount on because her coupon had expired. And this woman was ready to fight, quite literally, for it.
Important that you were buying at the store. You're not buying groceries to feed your family here, okay? You're not buying like water to keep yourself alive. You're buying some clothes, trying to use an expired coupon. What on earth was so special about those clothes that you're ready to fight a woman over it?
To give this some personal context, I was at Ross on Black Friday with my little cousin, just looking for a new outfit. As we stood in line, I witnessed another woman argue with the cashier. She was upset because a pair of pants didn't have a drawstring and she wanted a discount.
She was definitely aggrieved. I'll say on Black Friday, I went to Ross, took my little cousin there. She wanted a new outfit. And I saw someone in front of me trying to haggle with the checkout lady. Like, I was like, ma'am, this is a store. They scan the price and you pay the price. And then she got upset when she wouldn't give her a discount because the pay.
It got heated, sure, but not nearly as aggressive as this woman with the expired coupon. That's what makes the viral video so shocking. How far she was willing to go over something so trivial. And then there's another layer to this. Her child. In the background of the video, you can see her daughter visibly upset and in distress.
And it's clear to me as this child is in distress that this is not the first time.
This is what truly breaks your heart, because this wasn't just an isolated meltdown. It felt like this child had seen her mother behave like this before. She didn't look confused.
Okay, that she's seen mommy behave this way. Mommy behaves this way sometimes, and she could care less that her little one, who depends on her and is supposed to look to her for guidance, is in the picture.
She looked used to it. That's the saddest part. When a parent behaves like this in public, especially over something so minor, it sends a powerful and damaging message to the child.
embarrassing your child in front of you, and it's embarrassing for the child, of course, but you're teaching them that this is an okay way to behave when you don't get what you want, and then those behaviors rub off a lot of times on the children, so you're just creating a cycle of bad behavior.
This is how you act when you don't get your way. It normalizes aggression and entitlement, and if that behavior isn't addressed early, it becomes a learned cycle that's incredibly hard to break. From childhood tantrums to adult outbursts, this kind of behavior can become a lifelong affliction, passed down from generation to generation. In the end, what should have been an ordinary shopping trip became a viral moment, a reminder of how unchecked emotions and public outbursts affect more than just the person involved. They ripple outward, especially when children are watching. A heated restaurant exchange. A tense and emotionally charged exchange occurred between a DoorDash driver and a restaurant worker, highlighting ongoing friction between delivery drivers and restaurant staff. It all started when the driver politely apologized, only to be met with skepticism. "No, you're not, but thank you," the worker snapped.
LOL. That's why you're pathetic and work over here. You're right, I'm so pathetic.
From there, the situation quickly escalated. As the driver tried to explain her frustration, pointing out that someone had ordered their food 22 minutes earlier for a reason, she was interrupted and seemingly dismissed. She then asked the worker's name.
Right, I'm not. LOL. That's why you're pathetic and work over here. You're right, I'm so pathetic. Obviously, because you don't have to hear the people inside the restaurant. If someone orders, they wait 22 minutes for a reason. They should fire me. They fired me. And what was your name again? Marley.
Marley, M-A-R-L-E-Y, the worker replied with a mocking tone. The driver repeated the spelling to confirm. As tensions rose, the driver vented about a common frustration among delivery workers. "You know what I was writing down? When customers are in the restaurant, you give them their food first, not the DoorDash orders."
M-A-R-L-E-Y. Is it M-A-R-L-E-Y? Got it. Yep. Okay, go ahead, write a review on Yelp for me. What do you thought? Why was writing Yelp? When someone in the restaurant's eating, you give them their food first, not to the DoorDash. Bye. Bye, Felicia. Have a nice day. You too, raggedy bitch. Yep.
Things only got messier from there. As the driver left, she continued calling out the staff's rudeness and claimed the restaurant consistently got orders wrong. One of the staff members mocked her by pointing out, "You're cute, arguing with a high schooler." The driver fired back without missing a beat. The fact that you're a high schooler says a lot about the cleanliness of this place.
Rude your customers. I don't even consider That's why you can't get nothing right in the restaurant. You're cute arguing with a high schooler. Oh, that's cool, you're a high schooler. Shows your demeanor. Yep, okay.
The passive-aggressive banter carried on until the driver finally left, sarcastically repeating, "Have a nice day."
Okay. Exactly. Have a nice day. Yes, exactly.
As she exited, another staff member muttered, "Karen Essity runs deep in this one." Christmas tree. Imagine heading out to pick the last Christmas tree in the lot, only to have someone try to snatch it right out of your hands. That's exactly what happened here. Just as the tree was being claimed, a woman, let's call her Karen, stormed over and insisted it was hers. The person calmly explained that they had just bought the tree and politely asked Karen to back off. But instead of respecting boundaries,
"What are you doing?"
This was the last tree.
Okay, well, I just bought it,
No,
so
I
can you
need
not?
it.
Okay, can you get away from my
it's
tree? What are you doing?
mine now.
Karen hovered aggressively, refusing to let it go. The situation quickly turned awkward and slightly ridiculous, as Karen acted as if the tree had magically become hers simply by walking up to it. It's a wild reminder that during the holiday season, people's behavior can sometimes be anything but merry. Waffle House chaos turns into a WWE tryout. Things took a wild turn at a Waffle House in Texas when a late-night confrontation spiraled into complete mayhem. It all started when employees asked a rowdy group of customers to leave.
Hire these people for the WWE. It's just another night at a Waffle House, with all hell breaking loose at a Texas Waffle House after workers yelled for this group of customers to leave.
But rather than exiting quietly, one bold customer decided to take things up a notch literally by climbing onto the counter like she was ready for a wrestling match. Tensions boiled over quickly. In a matter of seconds, the restaurant transformed into a battleground.
But instead, one customer climbs on the counter, one worker later throwing a coffee pot at her, things are flinging, people are falling. It evolves into an all-out punching match. Everyone else is filming on their phones and egging it on, otherwise known as a regular night at a Waffle House.
Objects flew across the room, including a coffee pot hurled by an employee, while others slipped and stumbled amidst the chaos. Meanwhile, the rest of the crowd did what people do best these days. They pulled out their phones, cheered it on, and recorded every second of the madness. It's safe to say no one was served waffles that night, but the impromptu brawl gave off serious WWE energy. The scene had everything: dramatic entrances, flying objects, crowd reactions, and enough intensity to make you wonder if someone should have rung a bell and called it a match. And that's the full breakdown of how a simple coupon turned into chaos. Whether it was entitlement, misunderstanding, or just a really bad day, this Karen definitely made it one to remember. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more wild real-life showdowns. So the next time you see a viral confrontation, ask yourself, Chakov, are we witnessing a real injustice or just another overzealous complainer making noise? In a world where everyone has a camera and a platform, the line between accountability and attention-seeking gets blurrier by the day. Stay curious, stay critical, and remember, not every loud voice deserves the spotlight.